Welcome back, brother. Congratulations. You came all this way, you made it. This is the final module in this course, Basics of Tantric Sexuality for Men. And this module, I'm going to talk about further along the path. How can you proceed further along the path? You learn the basics, you learn all the techniques, like what to do in your day-to-day practice and how to do in your solo practice and with your partner, and a lot of troubleshooting and all that. Well, emotional intelligence is a very important aspect that can help you evolve a lot on this journey, because we men, we are mostly not so intelligent emotionally, basically. Women are better at that. So you need to have a basic understanding of your emotions, at least. For example, we most often have energy blockages in our body that results from past traumas, from childhood, from teenager life, and they are usually accompanied by emotional shame or guilt or low self-esteem. Okay, these blockages will make it very difficult to move or circulate the energy. Therefore, it will be very difficult for you to delocalize your pleasure, send the pleasure to the other parts of your body, so you can somehow handle the pressure of ejaculation, so you can last longer in bed. Therefore, it's very important not just to do physical practice, but also some emotional practice as well. Of course, physical detox techniques will help you, or even mental or social detox will help you very much, like stopping porn, changing your social environment. If you have some negative people, unfortunately, leave them out from your life and change your social circles. These are all going to be very helpful. But something very golden, very key is if you can find a dynamic meditation group or dynamic meditation facilitator in your local place, because this is not easy online. You can't do it over the Zoom. Like if somebody says, "Oh, I'm doing dynamic meditation over the Zoom," I would be a little bit skeptical, honestly. So try to find a community or a teacher or a practitioner that is doing dynamic meditation. It is 4 stages, basically 5 stages, and it involves catharsis. And you can bring out a lot of these emotions and tensions in your body, in your system, and it can bring a lot of clarity for your mind as well. It's a really great active kind of meditation. You're not just sitting, as you can tell from its name, it's a dynamic type of meditation. So you can see a lot of negativity that maybe you were not even aware, a lot of anger that you were suppressing, a lot of sadness that you were suppressing, and it's really good to release, actually vomit out these feelings and clean your body from them, because we are hiding a lot of things inside of us, and this is kind of a weight in our subconscious mind, like there's a huge backpack and I'm carrying it wherever I go. It's an invisible backpack. I need to empty stuff from that so I can feel more light, more happy, more joyful, and therefore, technically, again, the energy can move easily so you can have better sex. Okay? Another very important key aspect that I want to talk about is vulnerability. It's so important. Again, it's like one step further than just having an emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is like the basic for it, and when you go deeper, you want to be vulnerable, because if you're not, then again, you will not be able to relax. Because sometimes sex will be so great, especially if you try these strategies, if you apply these techniques and methodologies, at some point you will start having a lot of pressure, a lot of energy intensity in your system. And you cannot avoid that these energies will trigger something in you, some emotion, some state of mind, maybe from your past. Again, most probably they are from our childhood or teenager life. So you need to be able to be vulnerable and cry, be emotional. I mean, we are conditioned as men very much to not be emotional, like boys don't cry kind of bullshit is there. So you need to let go of those ideas and just be who you are, and be emotional, and that's totally fine, right? So, and a very key aspect here is what I call 3 circles of your being. Okay, we are not simple beings. We are not just who we are. Like we have inner masculine, inner feminine. We already discussed that. But we also have inner child, inner teenager, and in our very essence, in our very core, we all are perfect. Okay. Look at children. All children are perfect. They're healthy with their emotions. If they fall down and cry, after 5 minutes, they're jumping with joy. They don't hold on to emotions. They don't create traumas. And when we are children, we were like that. We all have this amazing, perfect, innocent being in ourselves. But over the time, we lose it because life is not safe. You know, it's a wild, wild world. So things happen to us. We start having problems with our parents, with our friends. We get beaten up at school. Like some of us have less, some of us more. But we all have this wound, this separation from this perfect self. Okay, and this creates a lot of pain. All right. So this is how Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. So we create a pain body because it's painful to come out of that heaven on earth. You know, like to come out of that perfectness, that joy and intimacy with ourselves. So, and then this pain body is not very sexy to walk around in the society. So we kind of hide it, you know, like, oh, we put on some mask, we put on some shield or armor or ego around it. And this is the third circle, okay? So the first circle is our true self, our inner child, inner self, or higher self, or the inner Buddha, you can call it, whatever you want to call it. And then it's broken, it's wounded, and then there's this pain body around it. And then to hide it and also to protect all of that, we create this boundary, the third circle, where we have our armor, we have our shield. Now, it's kind of okay to have an ego, to go out to the world and to have a business agreement, or, you know, like when we're working, when you're earning our life, because life is tough. You know, like we can't just walk around and be just happy and just be a nerd child. And then, I mean, it's going to be super traumatic. You know, I'm not claiming that. I'm just saying that if you want to go into intimacy with your partner and open up honestly and fully with love and experience high states of joy and love, you need to be vulnerable. You need to come back to that first circle somehow. If you approach your partner from your shield, that shield is not very sexy in the bedroom. You need to drop that armor before entering the bedroom. The bedroom, the sex, the love, the relationship is sacred, you know? It's divine, it's wonderful, it's joyful. And the masks don't fit there. I mean, unfortunately, we are so used to it, we walk into the bedroom with those masks and shields. So this is the thing that I want you to be aware of. Your armor is fine in the wild world outside, in the social world, when you're earning your money. I mean, it depends on your occupation, right? Maybe you're an artist and you want to be vulnerable when you're earning your money as well. Or you're a coach, you know, like me, or a psychologist, a therapist. You know, there could be many different situations where also you can having a very light armor, or you don't use your armor very often. But if you're talking about sex and intimacy and love, that armor has almost no place in here, okay? And it's true from that you expect the same from your partner. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But this is the key awareness that I want you to have. So, by the way, this is coming from a very nice book called Face to Face with Fear by Krishananda and Amana, his partner. And he actually is a psychiatrist who studied in Harvard University and University of California. This is something really having strong background, these ideas. So if you are in your shield in the relationship, maybe you will enjoy another person, a woman that is also in that state, and it feels like, oh, okay, that's fine, you know, like we are so much fake and sorry, but you know, like we are narcissistic, we love each other, like we think we love each other. Narcissistic people don't love the other, they love themselves. So and there's no depth in the relationship. Okay, this is your lifestyle, if you want to choose it, okay. I mean, I'm not going to judge you. this is a choice. But if you want to really go deep and have a life-changing experience, you need to think twice, okay? At least give it a chance and try to see what is this vulnerability, how it is happening, like what's the path to follow. Take some emotional intelligence courses maybe, or get some vulnerability coaching. There are even coaches coming up like that. I have even a friend who's doing that. So for me, the basic principles are, you got to stay with the pain, okay? Don't run from the pain. Don't run away from unpleasant sensations in your body, emotionally, mentally. Face it, like the name of the book, face to face with fear. If you have fears, face your fears. If you have feelings, feel them so that you can heal them, okay? So go through the pain, and then it's like these 3 circles. You are going from the 3rd circle, you're going back, you're traveling back to your core, first of all. You're going through the pain, which is the second body. You have to go through that territory, right? If you want to find a beautiful, innocent, golden child inside of you. So go through it, and then you're going to find your innocent self. And this is going to boost your sexual life. It's going to dramatically change your sexual life, because if you are from there, you will be creative, you will be vulnerable, the energy will circulate. Look at the children. They have tons of energy. They can jump, run, like do every kind of crazy things. They have huge amounts of energy. There are no limitations, no suppression. Sex needs to be like that. You can't, okay, I taught you a lot of techniques and methodologies for the mind to develop some skills, but at some point you need to just drop them too, just be spontaneous. And for that, you need to let go of all these pain and emotions. Of course, not just in a minute, not just in one day or 1 week. It's a long journey. It's maybe a lifelong journey. It's not going to be easy. I can consult you more, like I can advise you to go take some workshops and get some different type of therapies. But I just want to, at least in this model, try to give you this mindset, this awareness that this kind of stuff is really important. It's counterintuitive, like you don't imagine that this kind of things can give you multiple orgasms, but they will do, because you will be able to flow with the energy of your pleasure, right? So also it's going to deepen your relationship, as I just said, like with your shields, how deep you can go. Like she has a shield, I have a shield. The relationship is fighting all the time. Like there's no depth, there's no openness, there's no vulnerability. So, and the best tantric experiences I had in my life were also given to me by partners that were giving me this space. They were vulnerable themselves, and they were giving me the space to be myself, to cry out, like just have my catharsis and take out the emotions and take out the trauma. So I was really relaxed. I could just relax fully, and just then it doesn't become just a sex, or it doesn't become just a relationship. It becomes a journey, it becomes a healing and transformative experience. So these kind of relationships are very precious. If you have such a partner, hold on to her. And if not, maybe again, think twice, because we all are wounded. This is a fact, and we are all in this journey of healing ourselves. And if you or your partner are resisting to that, or even ignoring that, it's going to be creating a roadblock, a big roadblock. Okay, so if your partner has a lot of pain and ignoring, also sex with her will be very difficult. She will not open up. She will not come out of the pornographic state of mind. And maybe if she's teasing you, maybe when you're crying, she's like, oh, you're crying like a boy. Like, I had partners in my life like that, and okay, that's a sign that I should just move away, because there's so much plasticity there, it's fake, there are a lot of conditionings. I can't open up myself, I can't be myself, I can't find God through sex, so what am I doing here, Some women, they have this resistance. I mean, if you are stubborn, if you really love her, if you have the time, if you're living in the same city, you can see each other regularly, somehow have sex regularly, and then over the time, if you give it a chance, and if somehow the relationship is moving, maybe after a couple of weeks or months, she can start having some aha moments. Okay, all right, so this is a very different way of having sex, not just energetically, also psychologically. It's a different kind of journey, and then she can get it. If she's from the tantric culture already, then it's going to be much easier anyway. You can talk about these things to her if you follow the rules of this conversation that I told you in a previous module. Don't do it during sex, like take some time off when you're not naked, and be aware that it's a very vulnerable subject itself, so also respect her. And at these points, even during sex, sometimes you need to take this role of a therapist, like the person in front of us is like that our clients in a way, not professionally of course, but somehow if you want to have healthy relationships, we need to regularly switch these roles, like of course not all the time, like who wants to be a therapist all the time? Nobody. But sometimes in some occasions, some situations, when you're giving her a G-spot orgasm or a massage, or like she's crying, or you're having a tender conversation, sometimes you need to be taking the role of the therapist, and sometimes maybe she needs to take it, and then you change roles, and then you're lovers again, and there are different positions that you can have in a relationship. But of course, first you need to do it for yourself. If you are not vulnerable, you can't expect your partner to be vulnerable. Whatever you think needs to be in a relationship, you start giving it first. That's a golden rule that I love very much. So everyone has their own story. We all have our limitations. Respect your partner. If she's not able to open up, if she's resisting, it will take time. Be patient with her. Be patient with yourself as well. And remember, it's a long journey. And when you are vulnerable, when you are opening up in these ways, at some point you will realize that your mindset is so wrong, maybe, that you're picking up the wrong partners. You're picking up maybe partners thinking like, oh, okay, like this is like an Instagram girl, like this is a sexy girl. But this is just the makeup. There's a lot of plasticity in our world today, like you just look at the surface, and if you decide from how she looks, how she dresses, her style, her makeup, maybe you will miss the more essential things, like maybe her energy is very much blocked, maybe her mind is too much blocked, like there are a lot of beautiful women in this world, like fashion models and actresses, they're completely messed up with their psychology, like picking up a non-famous partner, maybe not as famous, not as beautiful as like a regular criteria, but her body, her energy, her soul will be so amazing that you will have the relationship of your life, like you never know, so give it a chance. And also sometimes, and I'm guilty of that too, some men, we pick up partners that are not that matching our consciousness, matching our masculinity. Like we are kind of becoming a chicken, like just scared to pick up the best girl, like basically, okay, I don't want to play my best, like I don't want to take that risk, it's risky, like I can get ashamed, I don't know, it's difficult to run that relationship, so I'm just gonna pick up a mediocre partner and like just try to be happy with her. And sometimes when we really go full on into this tantric way and open up fully and be vulnerable, I had moments that I realized I'm not with the right partner, like I just picked a partner out of my fear, like because I didn't think I deserved a better one. And unfortunately, in these kind of situations, I have to say goodbye. I realized something. Of course, I don't share the whole story with her. It could be very heartbreaking. But what matters again is the awareness point. Because remember, the first circle is our higher self, our true self, our innocent, childlike Buddha self. And if I live my life from there, all the other things that I decided from the other circles, like all the choices that I made from the pain body or the ego body, doesn't make sense so much. Like it's like a illumination, like, wow, this wasn't what I was looking for. I just remember something very, very deep in my soul, something very deep in my being. So picking up such a partner can be your defense mechanism. It's coming from your defense mechanism, or maybe just want to show off your friends, or I don't know. Like we do these kind of mistakes a lot. So just food for your brain, and maybe you will have some experiences where you will witness what I'm talking about. I talk about a lot of theory in this course. Some of them you will experience next day, and some of them you will experience next year. It's all depending on your journey. Like, of course, some things need to build up again, but it all comes back to building up the energy, doing your practices and keeping your strong attention and all that. So the bottom line is express your emotions, okay? Cry out your tears, be real, not fake, okay? Go into real emotional purification. And once you go through it, it's going to be easier, it's going to be smaller. Each time you work on it, it will be more achievable easily. This is the best way to have an orgasm without ejaculation, because you will relax so much, it will 10x your orgasms. You can have 10 orgasms in one intercourse. No, I'm not joking, I'm totally serious. These things can create miracles. But the first step is the most difficult one, and you need to stick with the idea of vulnerability. So, for example, during sex, you can slow down, you can completely stop, and that's fine. It's your life. You don't have to show off. You don't have to perform. So let go of that performance anxiety. Just enjoy that moment, enjoy each penetration, enjoy each second, each moment, and that's beautiful. So I'm going to leave you with a homework again after this module. And that's going to be a little bit difficult kind of homework because it's a long commitment. Maybe it's not easy to find this person, find an accountability partner or a therapist which can help you vulnerable with. You can talk to him or her and you can feel completely vulnerable and just completely friendly, and you can share these things with her, like, oh, by the way, I have a secret, I haven't told this to anybody, but I'm telling it to only you. Like a really close friend or an accountability partner or a vulnerability coach, like it could be professional or just a friend. Or if it's not possible, make your journal your place of vulnerability. Write it down, somehow take it out of your mind, okay? And this kind of practices will help you a lot because you're working with your mind, you're telling your brain not hide these things anymore. So if you open the gate, slowly these things will start leaving your house. They will come out and you will become more and more real and purify more and more aspects of your personality that are not so real. All right. So, and finally, I hope you enjoyed all this course. And if you really think this is beneficial for you, you can demand coaching sessions from me where I will be personally teaching you these methods. Like we can modify them for you. Maybe some of the techniques you need more than the others, or you can practice some of them easily, but some of them are very challenging. I will help you with that. I will coach you with that. And I will help you to be a man that has more health and wealth and more happiness in his life. So also when you get a coaching package from me, we will do weekly calls and then we'll be constantly in touch over Skype. They will be having weekly calls on Skype and on WhatsApp. You can leave messages, voice messaging each other, like whenever you need, it's not just once per week. However support you need, I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And then further on, we will dive into subjects like detoxing methods, that are more difficult to teach in a general course. One-on-one, it's more safe and easy. How to raise testosterone naturally. Advanced tantric training, these are just the basics so far what you've learned, and some female anatomy and physiology. So if you want to contact me, just go ahead on Skype or WhatsApp or email. I'm going to spell all of these for you. It will take some time. So my Skype is FATIH_KECELIOGLU. I have a long surname, even for Turkish people it's difficult. So WhatsApp is +90 539 485 1216, or just email me. It's my personal email. I'm sharing it with you, fatihist@gmail.com. So thank you for coming all the way with me. I really enjoyed this mini course with you. I hope it's been useful. You can ask me any questions. Now you have my email address, and hope to stay in touch, brother. Enjoy your life.